Something bad is going on in Abuja. Why is everybody getting kidnapped all of a sudden? This guy was kidnapped, this guy was kidnapped, and this girl was a victim of one chance. We've been talking about all this on social media. This time around, I'm at the House of Representatives and I'm going to be interviewing one of the leaders. We need to know exactly what the federal government is doing to address this issue. There's a Honorable Joshua, who is the House of Rep member representing Almac Buhari constituency. I think it is important to engage him in a discussion. This insecurity in Abuja is alarming. We need to know exactly what the federal government is doing to tackle this. Okay, Honorable sir, so these are videos of people that I've interviewed recently. So you can see this is how bad the situation is. There are so many issues of kidnap. This guy was kidnapped in Buhari area. So the issue of kidnap is becoming really alarming, especially in Abuja, even the issue of one chance. So today I want us to have a conversation about the security issues, and I want you to tell the public what your office is doing to create solution for this insecurity. So today I'll be asking you a couple of questions. People have been flooding my DM. It's everywhere. Everybody's been complaining about the security issue in Abuja. I would like to know what exactly the federal government has in plan to address the issue of kidnapping, and especially the issue of one chance in Abuja.
Well, let me start by saying that the issue of the insecurity in Abuja is a neglect that has been done over the time. Knowing that Abuja is a fast-growing city, and with the insecurity generally in Nigeria, many people have left different states, seeing Abuja as the most safest place today in Nigeria. And as well, because people are leaving, those who trade in the business of terrorizing others to make their own living, have seen Abuja today as a bank, the place where the rich reside, where they can go and maybe kidnap people and get a reasonable amount of money. So that is the situation now today. And having said that, I will say that the successive administration has neglected the security of Abuja. The proper infrastructure that Abuja needs, security-wise, has not been put in place. Go down now to our rural communities in Abuja, you will find out that we don't even have police station. Even the infrastructures in our rural communities have been neglected over the time. Some of these places are not accessible. And if there is no good road networks, police stations, electricity, some of these areas don't even have telecommunication masts, where if there is anything happening, that the people in those villages can be able to even contact the authorities to come for their aid. And this should not be the situation of Abuja. Abuja should be a pace-setter state in the terms of development that other states should emulate from. But that is not the issue here. Basically, I am not putting it on the present administration, but they have to rise up to the occasion to solve it. It's a neglect that has come over the time. When you hear about the insecurity in Kaduna, you hear the insecurity in Kogi, you hear about the insecurity in Nasarawa, Niger State, you should know that it's moving towards Abuja. The authorities should have been proactive to know that this is seat of power, to do everything to make sure that all the borderlines of Abuja is well manned and monitored to prevent this kind of criminals getting into Abuja and causing the kind of havoc they are causing today. I'm not saying that the authorities are not doing their best, but being that the neglect has been there over the time, their best cannot be enough unless we bring in a system changes, institutional changes that will turn this problem of insecurity around. And based on this, I have suggested by even writing to the Mr. President at a time that every day we hear the issue of kidnapping, families being taken, shot. There is one that happened in Duse, Alhaji. There is incident even in Buhari area council. A lot of kidnaps going on. We've heard things about Lube and even in Orozo. Now there was a time I went to visit the victims. So many families that this has affected. And this should not be issue of Abuja, where the seat of power is situated, where we have members of diplomatic corps, where we have multinational companies have their headquarters. Apart from that, even ordinary Nigerians should be able to beat his chest and say that he feels secured in our own capital city.
Exactly.
Without being a member of diplomatic corps or so on and so forth. So I see it as a neglect that has been over the time. And I suggested to the Mr. President, we've talked the issue of state policing in Nigeria. And a lot of politics has gotten involved into this state police issue. But in Abuja, our case is different. Mr. President is the governor of the Federal Capital Territory. Even if the issue of other states cannot be handled in that way because it needs some kind of constitutional amendments to be done, Abuja can be done through the executive fiat of the Mr. President. It can be an executive order giving Abuja police a kind of different mandates by creating Abuja independent police force that can be funded with the revenues that are being generated from this Federal Capital Territory. We can be able to build more police stations. We can be able to bring in more modern technologies like drones, like CCTV cameras. I know they have done something like that before, but a different one, modified one that people might not even know that they exist, where they are sighted. So these are some of the issues that we need urgent attention from the Mr. President. My constituents has inundated me with a lot of complaints when it comes to security, one chance, robberies. I can't tell you amount of car theft that is going on in Abuja. Just a few days ago, a brother of mine parked in front of his office, went up to pick something, to come down. It took him just 3 minutes. He came down and he couldn't see his
Is gone.
His van. 3 minutes.
Wow.
3 minutes. Myself, I had an appointment with someone in a place along Wusetu by Kubana when you are going up there. I parked my car outside, went in. I didn't spend more than 20 minutes there. I came in. I came back. I only noticed when I was driving off that I was hearing breeze, and I know that all the glasses were wind up. Behold, I turned back. They have broken my back glass. Took my bag. That's at the back of my seat.
So the security issues the insecurity is affecting you too.
What I'm saying, it has no limitations.
Exactly.
And it can be anybody. It can be anybody. No matter the kind of road infrastructure we do, no matter the kind of schools we build, and we are not paying attention to security. We have done nothing.
It's failure.
It's a total failure to us. And I have put it to the authorities, our honorable minister, which I will tell you that why people will say that I praise Wike. No. It's because people who have served us here, I have been in Abuja for a long time. I came to Abuja in 1996. And by the grace of God, I was elected a councillor here in 1998. So I started early here. I know much about the happenings in this area. So I know that he has done in a little while more than others have done. But much attention needed to be paid to the issue of security in Abuja.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what you're trying to say now is that your office have written severally to the office of the president?
I have written to Mr. President when this issue of kidnapping was a very much was very much high at the time. This was like early, I think it's early this year. I wrote to the Mr. President about it to see how we can encourage the local vigilantes, since there is no police stations now around those areas. But having said that, I know that the then police commissioner of police that just left, Commissioner Igwe, who is now an AIG, was able to secure some approvals for some new police stations, which even the communities around those areas are the one contributing some of this to make sure that those police stations are built, which I even ought to support, donating money to some of these communities to add, even in their vigilantes offices. I know a lot of places that have donated money for this. We even went ahead to buy some of security gadgets like walking, talking, and other things. And recently, because of that, I made sure that I have a lot of street lights that we put in so many areas through my constituency project to make sure that we light some places up so that people can be able to know who is coming in and going out of their different communities. But that is not enough.
Now, something else. You are the rep member representing Buhari constituency.
Yes.
You see, the kidnap issue in that Buhari region is extremely hard. It's extremely high. And something I want to comment on is that the emergency response is extremely poor. When a civilian is in distress, there's no security agency in Nigeria right now that they can count on to come help them instantly, to come save them from that insecurity. Is there anything your office is doing to address this? Apart from the effort of local vigilante, most times it's difficult to even get the attention of the Nigerian police. Okay, look at somebody I recently interviewed, a young man. He's doing well in his youth, and some persons, some workers in his estate ganged up. They attempted to kidnap him, but it wasn't successful. The man reported to police. Police did not show any interest in the investigation. As I'm talking to you now, those kidnappers, they haven't shot him like 7 times. They are still roaming freely in that estate in Abuja. So I really do not understand the position of the Nigerian police in security matters. Is there anything specifically that your office is doing to address all this?
Well, let me talk about the issue you just raised about the young man you talked about. If there is issue like that, I would like him to write to my office, narrating what you've just said. And through my office, I will write to the relevant authorities. That is their job to get this done. At our own level, we don't have executive power. Our work is to make provisions in the budget to be able to cater for this kind of needs, security aspect, and to make sure that we oversight these agencies to make sure that they carry out their duty as is expected of them. Based on what you complained about the young man, if a letter is written to my office, I will write to the relevant agencies, narrating his story and demand for action over that incident that took place. But that notwithstanding, Abuja has gone beyond the issue of just saying, oh, the police is not here, the police is not there, with an institutional changes that should be made to correct what is presently going on today in Abuja. If we don't take proactive measures to do that, to put institutions and activate what we have to work for us, I don't want to sound negative, but I can say that I sense more dangers. Because today, because of the insecurity in this country, a lot of people are leaving their different places are in Abuja, and as good ones are coming, the bad ones are also coming. I have a colleague here that when he stands up to introduce himself and his constituency, he said he represents the good and the bad people of his constituency. So that is the way it is everywhere. In every community or society, we have good people, we have bad people. I think Abuja deserves a special attention in terms of security. Abuja security should not be treated like any other state. This is the face of Nigeria. If anything happens here, it has happened everywhere. It can demoralize even the other individuals living in other states, that to say, if in Abuja people can be kidnapped, if in Abuja robberies can be carried out, people are losing vehicles, people are, a lot of things, that alone can create fear and panic across the board.
Yeah.
So we should treat Abuja's matter. And for me, the solution for Abuja matter is to give a special status to the Abuja police force. The security should be on a very top agenda for any administration. If any member of this diplomatic society is kidnapped, that is the end of it. That means that Abuja is unfit to inhabit the members of the diplomatic corps. And every country will be calling for recall of their diplomats. Is that not a national embarrassment that it will be? So I am even using this further also to still call on Mr. President to know that the time to act is now. I want the Minister of FCT to know that the time to act is now. We must secure Abuja as the federal capital city of Nigeria and cut across the line. From our communities, from our traditional rulers, and from the chairman of the area councils. I mentioned that drones should be secured.
Security drones.
Security drones. Because even the members of the police force that we are talking about today, are they not human beings like me and you?
They're also worried about their lives.
They are also worried about their lives. So it's not just about telling police to go. You have to give them everything that they need.
True.
To get that job done without losing their life.
Yeah, without fear of losing their life.
Without fear of losing their life. If there is any place that maybe some of these security issues is going on and the drone is sent ahead before even the security men arrive, with the help of the drone, they can identify the spots where these criminals are, so that they will know how to run them up and get them arrested.
And that make a lot of sense. I think that from this perspective, we can all see why the emergency response from the security agencies are poor. I am not supporting it, but this is just a perspective. These security officers are also afraid of their life. That is why when something bad is happening, like the young man I interviewed, they reached out to police and police told them that they needed to pay for bullets. You understand me? And sometimes police will be worried, okay, where these people are asking me to come save them, I don't know what to expect there. But if security drones are deployed, they'll be able to have a clear view of what they're expecting. Exactly. And it's possible that some of these police officers are not well funded. For a civilian to say, oh, I'm being ambushed, though, there are like 10 kidnappers in my house. They have AK-47 and then the police is telling you, will you pay for my bullet? That is to tell you that, something is wrong.
Lucky, let me just come this way. Today, we have the problem of one chance. Even though that I don't work with the security agencies, I don't know what their plans are and how they have been tackling these issues. But drastically, I know that issue of one chance, the one chance issue have reduced a little from the way it used to be high. Kidnapping and robberies and car theft is on the rise more. But part of it is this. Growing up as a teenager, I used to know what kind of security measures that was going on around my communities then. We have people they call informants. everywhere. Okada riders, shoemakers, people selling different things. You wouldn't know who they are. So what has happened to this kind of information gathering? You can see some vehicles move and you see them like a car, ordinary car or taxi, but these are security men riding different things, disguise themselves. We wouldn't say that we don't know the black spots in Abuja. We know them. We know places where often the issue of one chance is reported or issue of people being kidnapped, comes from. And again, I'm worried that even the press is not reporting much of the incidents that is happening in Abuja. And I don't know why. But the members of the press community should know that if they don't rise up to the occasion, them themselves or their family members, their relatives, in one way or the other, it's like when somebody is throwing a stone in the market, you don't know who it falls on. So if you don't report it today, you might be victim of it tomorrow. So the issue of the insecurity in Abuja should be a cause that everybody should pay attention to. Be you a politician, be you a pressman, be you even a police officer that is saying, okay, you can't do this. What if it happens to you? Because you live somewhere. So all hands must be on deck. And having said that, I want our communities not to lose faith in our own police force, no matter how bad we feel. Because whether we like it or not today, if those police do not exist, it would have been worse. While we are encouraging them, we want the people in the authority that are the one handling the executive arm of the government to see this as the most important thing for Abuja as of today. You can build all the infrastructure you want, but it's like you building a house without a security and putting all the gadgets you want in it. It takes a thief just a few minutes to take everything away from them. How many police vehicles are in good shape as we talk? How many of them that you can see and you that have up to 20 liters of fuel to even pursue if there is a need to pursue criminals or something like that? How many? How many of them? So this is the number one place that the federal government should show what they want even the governors to do in their own states. Mm-hmm. The DSS in Abuja should rise up to the occasion. The Nigerian police force in Abuja should rise up to the occasion. The civil defense corps in Abuja should rise up to the occasion. And we as citizens should cooperate with them to make sure that this is done.
So our focus should be on the people leading these agencies.
Yes, that is what it is. And if there is any changes, that is what I have suggested, that the Mr. President should use Abuja to dethrone state policing in Nigeria. This is pathetic because if you go outside Nigeria, like places like America, even local governments, they call them counties, have their own police. Counties have their own police. State have. And the federal police. So there are layers of police force. So we can have something similar here. It takes constitutional amendments to introduce state police in this country. But I know by executive directive, the president can give more powers to the police chief of Abuja. And the president can also direct the minister of Abuja to fund security activities, apart from the money that they get also from the Nigerian police force, to help to improve the issue of security as far as Abuja is concerned. These things are doable. And these things can be seen as the immediate measures that we can use to tackle the insecurity that we have today in this federal capital city of ours. Yeah.
Wow. It's obvious that The issue of security in Abuja specifically is going to be a collective effort. It's not something that we expect just one person to take seriously.
Exactly.
Everyone has to play their role in contributing to ensuring that there's security in Abuja. From what he has said, his office does not have executive power. They only have legislative power, right?
Of course.
And he has suggested that the head of these security agencies should wake up.
Have you even written to them?
You've written to them. I also think that having this conversation is good, as it will help the citizens to know and understand that your office actually show concern. But I think that beyond that, we cannot just hope that by merely having this conversation, something will change. I strongly feel that there are authorities within your power that you can push forward to help these agencies to sit up. I don't know if they are,
Yes, of course. I've just told you that we can do that through provision of providing more funding.
More funding, okay.
When it comes to issues of security in Abuja, I've told you now about drones. I've told you about security cameras in these important areas, and technology has advanced. So we can tap into the existing technology advancement that we have had today in Nigeria. Today we are talking about food insecurity in Nigeria, and we don't know that it's the insecurity that brought food insecurity. If today that the farmers can go to farm, the price of foods in the market will not be as it is today.
It's not be as expected.
But drastically, number of people participating in agricultural activities has reduced drastically. Then how do we feed ourselves if we don't tackle insecurity? And every day, day in, day out, every budget that the federal government have brought in the National Assembly, we have approved it for them. They should play their own part by securing this country, by doing the needful. We, the National Assembly, are not the one to sack the Chief of Army Staff, or sack the Inspector General of Police, or sack the Chief of Air Staff. It's for Mr. President. If you know that the people that you have appointed to do the work they should do is not doing it, if you require them to be removed, and for the new people that can come there with ideas to tackle the situation, bring them in. The economy of this country cannot change unless we handle the issue of security. Nigerians can do things on their own when they have the enabling environment to do that. Nigerians don't need a handout from the president. And I want to say the other things that is happening in Abuja that we are looking to tackle, and I believe that the minister have started on that also, because I've always hammered on that. Because if you look at the city, you know that the city is getting attention right now. So many roads that has not been connected, that have been left undone for a long time, has been done, and they are still doing most of them. But if we don't pay attention in these rural communities, by opening them up, building their roads, which I know that is captured in this budget. I know from now before the middle of next year, a lot of road construction will go on in the rural communities. If we don't do that, if we don't bring the, make the economic, make our rural community to be economically viable, then we are putting our city in danger. Because if there is good road network, if there is good transportation system, that we have buses that apply, the people who are living in the city that is under pressure, some family of 10 living in 2-bedroom, because if they move out from there, the transport to even go to work will not be there. So they accommodate themselves in that small space. They can move down to those communities, get a house there, probably get small farm by the side that they can get some food this thing to augment whatever they are getting. So that development will help to even reduce insecurity. That man that is have opportunity to open a barber shop in the village can open it and be there. That woman that have a grinder to grind food items can be there. Somebody can open a restaurant there. A lot can happen, with development. Development reduces insecurity, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, guys, you've heard it from Honorable Joshua yourself. It's obvious that he is aware, not just him, maybe other members are aware of what's going on in Nigeria, and we are having this discussion to engage members. A lot of you are worried if actually the federal government and diplomats are even concerned about the security affecting everybody. From what he revealed to us, it's something that is even affecting him himself and some of his colleagues. So I think we need to charge the leaders of these security agencies to make better decisions, and we need to start paying attention to local security vigilantes. We need to empower them so they can help strengthen the security in Nigeria. It has to be a committed effort. If there are questions you would like to ask, please kindly leave them in the comment section. From time to time, I would like to maintain access with Honorable Joshua. I think he has showed that he is concerned about the public. So from time to time, we'll be engaging him in conversations like this to discuss issues affecting Nigerians, and especially those of us living in Abuja. You'll also be hearing more from us. So I think that's all.
And I want the public to also know that we have a constituency office located at Kubwa Second Gate.
Kubwa
Second Gate. If you just get to Kubwa Second Gate and ask everybody around there, plot 6 C162. But if you just ask around that by the pedestrian bridge, where is the constituency office of Honorable Joshua Chinedu? Everybody there knows it. They will point at it to you. It's facing the Kubwa Expressway. And this constituency office is for you. If you have just a similar problem, just like or the information that you think that is relevant and you fear maybe getting it to the police, you can come there. We have constituency officers that can get that information from you and pass it to me when I'm not there, so that I can make sure I use it. Because if I don't get these fillers from you, I cannot be everywhere at a time. I have to get this kind of information from you and to put it to the agencies and say that you are failing in this area. This is what is going on. Just like the one man that we talked about now. If I have a written this thing from him, I will put it to the police.
So he has to write through that office.
You have to write. You can even send it to my office here in the National Assembly. My office number is 0.70, House of Representatives. Send your written petitions here on anything, and we will channel it to the appropriate quarters, and we will use that as the pointer to say that this is what is happening in our community. And I'm also calling on the press, report the problem that is happening in Abuja, so that the government also will know that some of us are not saying it because we are members of the opposition. We are saying it as the representative of the people, and because we are concerned, because we are the people that these people see. Like I said, we don't have an elected governor here. We have elected senator, we have elected members of House of Representatives, and we will be the one going back to them to say vote for us. If we cannot speak for them, then what need are we here for? So bring your issues to us, and we will make sure that we will continue to mount pressure on the appropriate authorities to do the needful for Abuja people, because we know that we have what it takes as a government to tackle the issue of insecurity in Abuja.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, so I I just want to have this information. If somebody wants to write to your office or through your constituency, they can come to the National Assembly
or go to the constituency office,
and drop the letter
and
there.
drop the letters there.
And it is very sure that it will get directly to you.
It will get directly to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever the information you want to give to the security agencies that you fear may be going directly can endanger your life, bring it to us. That's why we are here. And we will not disclose who you are.
Yeah.
And we will pass that message to the relevant authorities that is their duty to act on it. And we will also put pressure on them to do so.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable. God bless you so much for your time. Thank you. I'm really grateful, sir. All right, guys, you've heard it yourself. This is an opportunity. Let's go to his constituency. Let's bombard that office with letters, whatever concern you have that is affecting you. You've been talking about it on social media. You've been discussing it with your neighbors. You've been complaining about it. You've been praying to God about it. Put it in writing. Let's send this to the office. Hopefully, something might be done about it. I feel that this is an opportunity for people to let us participate. This is not just complaining and writing comments on social media, but let us press our concerns forward. There are offices that are available to take this concern. Thank you so much, sir, for making this information available. I really did not even know about this before.
Pleasure
now.
Having me.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, guys, at this juncture, we have to say bye. You have a meeting to attend, and we've taken a good deal of your time. So the next time you'll be hearing from us, we'll be having something entirely different to talk about, because there's so much to talk about. But today we just addressed some of the security concerns going on in Abuja. All right, guys, let's say bye to our viewers. Thank you and bye.